For almost 4 years ago is when I left my very abusive relationship. And it took me a while to even say it was abusive. Because it was a lot of things that just made sense back then. And I think a part of me was punishing myself for that. And I wanted to speak about it because not only is it empowering, because I wasn't really allowed to speak about any of it for a very long time, but also I want people to know the signs. Because I saw this TikTok a while after, and I remember watching it and realizing how similar it was, and it made me cry because I didn't realize at the time. I don't think a lot of people do. And funny enough, it's not the first time it happened, but it's the one that I recall the most of. Even if I don't recall much. I'm not going to be super specific about this because there's shit I don't want to say and go into detail about. But some of the signs that I remember was that he tried to convince me people in my, like people I was like close to and stuff who were dangerous to me. He would make it get into my head that the people who cared about me were dangerous. And it got to the point where I thought no one but him knew what was best for me. And I struggled a lot with paranoia. And he didn't make it any better. Another thing was that no meant nothing. And it wasn't the exact way you see it portrayed a lot, which is why I didn't think it mattered. But it made nothing, it didn't matter in a lot of context. I wasn't right about things. If I said something, I had to go into debate after debate, trying to prove the point to the point where I got exhausted, and I would just say that he was right. My voice and opinion didn't matter. It mattered when I accepted and when I agreed. Some of you guys might know me. You might know that I'm non-binary. I came out to the person a long time ago, early on in the relationship. And he said it was okay. Because I didn't understand it, but it was okay. And I thought that was the end of it. Then every conversation began to turn into a debate about LGBTQ people, saying they were sheeples, they were delusional, and I was delusional. He convinced me that I had gotten tricked and become one of the sheep. And it didn't matter if I said anything about it or tried to educate him. And it was very subtle in the beginning. It didn't really ever turn into argument until way later. He was really good at that. Manipulating me into thinking I was right. I was okay. I was safe. I did what I had agreement or consent in any of the things. It made me think that a lot. Now, then the start of the arguments happened. I don't remember a lot of them because I got to the point where I was dissociating and I was scared. And I don't know what I was scared about because he couldn't hurt me. He was in another country. But I was scared. He made me that way. And often the arguments would end because I would say I needed time or space. And he would threaten to hurt himself. But he wouldn't. The thing that he did that makes me so upset as well is he didn't just say, oh yeah, I will hurt myself if you leave. No, he made it my fault. He said he couldn't do this without me and that he just needed me he needed us to be okay. And he would subtly hint that if I left or tried to leave, he would try to hurt himself. Or worse. So I stayed. That's every argument. Every time. And the worst part is there were good times. Times where I had fun. Times where I laughed and enjoyed myself. And I just keep blaming myself for that. Then the arguments became a lot more frequent. And I would constantly be stressed, constantly drinking, constantly out of it. And it got to the point where I just began zoning out, letting the days pass. Because every argument meant nothing. My word meant nothing. My voice meant nothing, and my body meant nothing. In every argument, it was so close to one another that it felt like no time had passed. But weeks would pass. And there wasn't a turning point, if that makes sense. But I spoke to a friend after argument I had, of course, about me being non-binary, because I was a delusional person. That was supposed to be the thing. He fucking managed to manipulate me into thinking I was a cis woman that was supposed to be with him. That this was chosen. That I was supposed to marry him and have kids. Two things that I did not want to do. I've been very vocal about not having kids with him the entire time. I've always been the type of person, I can't, the fucked up thing is I can't have surgery or anything like that because I can't afford it to actually stop me from having kids permanently. But that is something I want. Because I don't want kids. And I can give a million reasons why. And if that makes you hate me, that is okay. But that's my body, my choice. And I was very clear about it. Every conversation we had, I was very clear about it. I told him I didn't want kids. I wasn't the type of person to want kids. And he knew every reason. But he slowly edged me to the point where my voice didn't matter. If he wanted kids, I wanted kids. That was the end of it. Or he would pull out every manipulative tactic. Like, oh, you don't love me. Oh, you're just traumatized. Oh, you're just this and that, and he would make it my fault. And it was always my fault. It was never his fault. I cannot remember one time where he admitted he was at fault. And he believed he was perfect, and I was a problem of everything in our relationship. I was a problem of everything, and if I didn't admit that, it would become worse. Now, we had just had this huge argument about me being non-binary, and him convincing me I was delusional to the point where I went to my friends and I spoke to them and asked if I was delusional for this dumbass fucking conversation about me being non-binary. That doesn't even really matter. And my friend, one of my friends, went like, this person doesn't sound like a good person, Jay. What's happening? And I began opening up to her about everything that had happened and more things that I don't want to speak about online. Sorry, just hit. And she went like, yeah, I think you should leave this person. I can see how upset you are. I can see everything. You should leave this person. I would say, no, I would defend him. I would tell him he's the greatest person in the world and he doesn't want any harm to me. So I went to another friend of mine thinking that I was delusional. I had made up this bad horror story about him when he wasn't like that at all. And I went to my other friend and I showed him screenshots of the entire conversation. And I asked him, if I was in the wrong, and he said that this person was dangerous and that this person was genuinely horrid. That's when it kind of snapped in place for me. So I bit the bullet. And of course, he came up with every excuse. He didn't want to admit anything was wrong. And he said if I left, he wouldn't know what to do. He pled like he always did. He told me that he would do something dumb. He cried and pled to me every single time that I'm making a mistake. And I'm at fault. But I bit the bullet and I blocked him. And I don't remember the next 4 to 5 days. But from what I read journaling this down, I was blackout drunk every single day. From when I woke up to when I went to bed. Though I don't know how much I slept during those days. It took me months to even say anything about it. Some close friends knew, but I cut them off after for another thing that I don't want to go into about here. And then I just, I don't know when I started picking myself up. It felt like there were broken pieces all over the floor that I just never was able to pick up on, that I'm slowly picking up on, and it's really weird. And now, it's been a really long time. And I debated on making this video or not, because I kind of felt delusional, and I had those moments where I feel like a lot of people might relate to this, or nobody, I might be a dumbass, where I told myself I was delusional, I made my greatest mistake in my life, he was right, and I would just tell myself that over and over again. The reason I'm making this video isn't to make it about myself. My mission has always been to make people smile, and I'm sorry that it didn't today. But I want people to be aware of the signs. Be aware of everything that a person can do to you. How much a person can break you till you no longer matter. Make you into what can feel like a zombie. And to anyone else who's going through this, please know there's hope. There's a brighter future for you. And if your friends tell you that something is really, really wrong, you should probably listen to them. Because I didn't. I feel like a part of me blames myself because I've been in situations before with horrible people that did horrible things to me. And I should have known better, but I didn't. I thought this time was different. God, I wish it was. But my message is that you're not alone. There are safety lines, hotlines out there for you. And that if you need a friend, or if you need someone to talk to, there's always going to be someone out there who's willing to listen. And not make you feel like you don't matter. And your voice doesn't matter, your choices don't matter. And you wouldn't think someone through a phone could do so much damage. But I still cry when I think about it. I still shake when I have to talk about it. I still dissociate. Your emotions might seem like a nothing burger. They might seem like they're emotional, but it's not. Your emotions matter. Even if it feels dumb, it matters. And your voice matters. There are hotlines out there if you don't have any friends, family, or anyone you can turn to for safety. There are shelters for domestic abuse. I have personally used hotlines before, and they have been of great help. If you guys want me to make a video about that, I can. Though I'm in Norway, so I don't know how different it could be in other countries. Thank you so much for watching the video, sticking by. If you're a survivor too, let me know your story down below. And make sure to drink water and smile, because you deserve that, every single one of you. And good night.